Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let's Redesign a Sim Rig. Today we will not redesign the rig itself. Today we will create a new steering wheel because I'm going with the current trends and I will also plus one on my steering wheels. I am getting a Sparco R345 wheel, which is already being shipped to me as we speak. And I, just for completeness sake, want to make this as a model so I am able to also put it in my assembly in Sketchup so I can check for collisions and things like that. The purpose of this video will be to have this available only for the purpose of checking for collisions. So don't expect this to be a very pretty looking construction. What you can expect though is to have a geometrically correct shape in the end. It is basically the same way I also created my existing wheel. So you can see, for example, these here. And I think for today's tutorial, I will not make like those steps. I will just make one big block. Those steps were basically because this has a more complicated shape, so it has the flat ends, and I also wanted it to be to look less boxy. But I can quickly show you how you would do it. So let's just start with the actual process of doing that. At first, we of course need some information on the wheel, or in the best case, we need a good picture so we can get some dimensions from it. And for Sparco, we are quite lucky because they have those images on their website which show the wheel directly from the front. And they also have this small picture where you can see, okay, this is the diameter 350 and this is the basically the grip diameter with this, which is between 32 and 28. I'm not sure if this is with tolerances because I can't really see that it is thicker or thinner in some spots. Maybe it's thinner down here and thicker up here, but it's not that easy to recognize. And then we have the height or the depth. Yeah, basically it's the depth of the wheel from the front of where the rim is towards the mounting surface, which is 63. I've chosen this 63 because I have measured on my real wheel, which is a little bit different than this, that the distance from the front of the rim here towards where the adapter to the Simucube starts is like 68 or something. And frankly, this is closest, and I did not want to get a 30 millimeter and then put some spacers in. So I just thought 5 millimeters difference is completely cool. So I'm doing this one. Yes. And now we need this picture. So in order to get this, you can, if you use Chrome, or this also works in every other internet browser, you can just right click this, press inspect. I think it's in English, should be called inspect. Then you can see here we are on this image and there's the link, and this thing here provides you with that link nicely somewhere. Here, there it is. So you can go here, right click, open a new tab, you get it in a new tab, then you can say, okay, save this as, and I have already done that. So you have this as a JPEG on your hard drive, or your SSD, of course. Then you can go here in the menu and you can say, I want to insert this, and then you just go into your Explorer and drag it in. Then you will get the question if you want this as an image or a material. And for our purpose, we want this as an image. So we just put it in here, and now we can resize it. I just want to have it nice and big. So this is then the imported image. Now we can go into this group, or rather we have to explode it. And once it's exploded, we can now select this edge and move it right here where the image actually starts. Make sure you always move this along one axis so you don't mess up the shape of this square. It will be a square when we're done. Ish. It's never perfect because we are working with a pixelated image. It's a JPEG file, so it's only gonna be good enough. Not perfect, but good enough. Now we can measure this and we will see, okay, this is now 688, so that's not exactly what we need. We need 350. So now I want to basically resize this. And for that, you have this tool and you can now resize this. And as you can see down in the right corner, you can only scale it. So there would be two options to do this. The one would be to take the length here and divide it by the length you want and then calculate this scale. And the other option is to just, let's at first group this again. To just draw in the shape that you want, which is 350 by 350. And then you go here again, resize, and you move it to this edge. Yeah, just like so. That is good enough. Now we can basically create the circle because, as I said, I want to make this a little bit boxy. I will only make this as a extruded surface. So the outer diameter was 350. Oh, diameter. So I have to halve it, 175. Then I go back to the center. That. And the thickness was 32 or 28, so I will just take half of it. So right now we put 175, so now I put 145. Yeah. So this will leave 30-ish millimeters there. The other thing you could do is to go here and use an offset, and you use this offset here, that, and then you put in 30 millimeters, and it is also basically this rim of 30. Now I want to make a group of this, I guess. There's always multiple possibilities to work with that, so, or to create this. So sometimes I'm like, will I do it like this or like that? But I think this is maybe the best solution. Then I want to move this again and take the center and put the center here on the center, and also in a way that's basically close to the shape that we have here. And now you can see maybe this is those, these are these 2 millimeters. Let's just measure this. 2 millimeters, yeah. Let me see. I think I will just go in here. Hide rest of model. And then I can put this here by 2 millimeters and remove the inner. Yeah, this looks better. I like it more. It's closer to the, to the image. Yeah, let's go back here and explode this. Because now I want to draw on this, but I want to attach it. Now again, we are working in a way that will later on show us a good shape. But that would not be too resource consuming, for example. Let me just hide this. I want to see what I did. Okay, that is interesting. So let me just move this up here, move this to that, like so. Now the question is, why doesn't it make one part of it? Yeah, now that worked. So now what you can do is you can basically copy this, put it on here. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, you cannot. That's interesting. I thought you could flip this. So basically make it symmetrical. Let's just unhide this again then, and then I will... Oh! I don't like this like it is. Yeah, that's better. And now I draw these lines on here, basically in the same area. Yeah, now it worked better, so it stayed on the same height. I'm not sure why it didn't do that before, but yeah, sometimes SketchUp is just a bit unpredictable, so you will get effects like that. Yeah, here I see there is also this issue where it moved some points. So that's nice. Now let's do this one here. Yes, and I know that not everything will be perfectly symmetrical in the end. But as I said, we don't want it to be absolutely perfect and absolutely pretty. We want this to be basically a close representation of what's the real part. That makes it possible for us to judge if there are collisions later in the finished rig. Yep. And then we have the next bit, which is here. Yeah, I'm just doing this as a real square now. Here that won't work. First I have to get rid of that again. And now to go in here. Yeah. Yep. Like so. And you can see what I'm doing is basically the wheel is on a certain height, or it has a certain thickness in the middle. This here has a different thickness. This again has a different thickness, and this will also have a different thickness again. So that's always where I put in those separate areas here. For example, this is one area for that thickness, this is one area for that, and so on. Yes, of course, you could always use a circle here. Use the circle tool. So what I can show you now, this is basically a straight edge here. Is you can use this line and this line. and then go in this tool, and here you have, yeah, it's the 3-point arc, I think. Yeah, 3-point. So you use this and it did not draw it on one height level again. And yes, I also think this is annoying at some points. Now it worked better. So now I get this 3-point arc. Now it tells me to select the start point, end point, and now you can tell it, okay, I want this to be excuse me. Wait, I will hide this and try again because I think this is what's messing up this. Or we can try 2-point. Number of segments. Okay, so for that it doesn't even work because I am too far zoomed in, or this is too small apparently for SketchUp to make sense of it. So I will just, yeah, let's make one more step like that. And again here. And let's put it up there. This will be at one height here. So this will be basically this big surface, and then here it will go up. So that's why I'm making that edge. Now let's go ahead from up there, put an edge here, maybe like that. Yes, and again, I know I could do this with a circle tool. But if you look out here, the circle tool will also just make basically a lot of lines. So it won't necessarily look better or smoother than what I'm doing currently. So up here, there's one more edge where I want to start this going up here. Or maybe I can move it a little bit. Nope. Move this there. And move this also in here. Oh, okay. So that's the same. Good. So now we can hide this because we don't really need it anymore. And I want to go ahead. I will also remove those two. Does this already have a height? Or is it just a little bit messed up? Just a bit messed up. Yeah. And now let's go ahead and make the height and the thickness correct. So this should be 30. So I will put this up with extrusion by 15. And I also, okay, that is not nice. 15. Ah, okay. Something there broke. Good. So now we have this 15 millimeters. Yeah, and I'm not fixing that. I'm not fixing that. Sorry. Yes. Now this can maybe go up here all the way. And this can go up, let's say 3 or 4, and down 4. Same on that side. And this would be 1.5 because I have checked on my wheel what the dimensions are. And basically on my wheel, which I have, which is also Sparco, it's 3 millimeters-ish thick. So that's the reason why I'm doing it like that. And I'm doing the same here for all those surfaces. This one to reverse. Put it all the way up here. This. At first you have to drag it to the nearest, and then you can create the end height. Otherwise it just won't let you. Or you will have to do it in multiple steps. So this looks really, really boxy. So I think it would make sense to smoothen this out a bit. At first, I'm putting this there, and this here. Yeah. And the same on that side. Same-ish. Now I notice that this here is a bit, it's not ideal, so I'll move it here. And also, am I adding a line here? No, not really. Let's remove this rather and smoothen this out. Yes, I don't want that, sorry. I don't want that either. See, I knew it before it happened. And now we can move the dish. I grab it here, and now I have to see if this will happen, or if what happens when I do this. So from up here to the lower end, we need, what was it, 63, right? 63. And now it is 16. So the difference is 47. So I will have to move this. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. So I think I will have to remove some of those lines. Nope. Okay. I think there's an easier way here. I can just take this one. Okay. and move this by 46. Or even better, I can take this, draw a line that is exactly 63 long, and then I can grab this one and move it exactly to the end. So now it's exactly from this front face to this mounting plate, 63. And now I just connect those. Look at that, it made some, yeah, really illogical. Nope, I did not want that. Lines at some point, on some points, so I have to remove them. And I also don't need this area in the middle. Now I can just go here and connect those lines. And it will basically create all the missing surfaces again. So now we have the issue that this is not exactly straight, so I will just create some lines here so it's all triangles and it can fill out the gaps. And I do the same on the other side. Yeah, as you can see, now everything's done. This should look almost exactly like the real one. The only exception is I will now try to make this a little bit smaller here. So basically this has to go down. Let's just do it like that. Oh, let's undo it. At first I check what this is. So this is 11 millimeters, so I just take 8. 8. And down here I do the same. 8. And this goes down 5. 5. And this goes down 2. Okay. Then I use 2 here too. 2. And on the other side I do exactly the same. Put this down on that level. Put this down on that level. Then on the underside I still need those lines. I put this on that and so on. Like this. And here I do the same. Again. Well, that did not look right. Let us put this in that direction so it's aligned with that one. And we continue doing a similar thing. Nope. On that line. This goes here. This goes there. Yep. Let me quickly erase those lines. And then we make a line here. And it filled it again. This is some way reversed, and on the lower side it's 2. So let's reverse it. And then those we don't need. And then I will use the extrusion tool once more. Yeah. I'm removing this. And we do the same again on the lower side. And remove this line. Yes. And now I would say I'm completely done. This is as good as I need it. What I still could do is I could make this a little bit more blocky. So if I wanted that, I'm not going to do it, but I can show you how it's done really quickly. You also go to this extrusion, then this offset here, and you can take it to the inside. You say like, let's use 2 millimeters, then from this, okay, this works better. Like that, or let's say 3. And then you can basically do the same here. Have to remove those. Okay, that did not work nicely. I hope you still understand what I want to do. So this is 3 millimeters, then here it's broken somehow. And yeah, this is broken somehow. So you would have to fix that first. But assuming you have made your rim in a way that's not somewhat broken, then you could just go ahead and do it like this and then use the extrusion tool and make it smaller in that direction. So it goes down on the outside. And that's basically what I have done here. So I've actually calculated this so it's the distances are yeah, roughly circular. So you would put, if you would put a circle here, it will go along those edges. But that's really not exactly needed for the purpose of just having this as a rough information for the collisions. So for the collisions, it's actually better to have it like this because this area is bigger than it would be with a circle. So you will see earlier collisions, and that's not a bad thing. So you always keep in mind that you have some gaps everywhere. And that will also wrap it up for this video. I will, after the video, upload this file here to the library. So you can go ahead here and you can find it there in the components in the public resources. And if you have any more questions or if you want to have a way more complicated tutorial to get this more nicely and yeah, with a little less considerations for the resources of your system, then just let me know in the comments and then maybe I can do this in a later episode. So thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell icon. And then I will see you in the next video. This is the Sheepster. Have a nice day. Bye.